In the heart of 19th century America, when slavery chained millions and freedom was a distant dream, one man lit a spark that would grow into a fire of hope, courage, and change. This is the story of Elijah Williams, a name history forgot, but whose courage still whispers through time. Elijah Williams was born in 1820 on a cotton plantation in South Carolina. He never knew his mother. She was sold when he was just a baby. His father, silent and strong, worked the fields with hands hardened by decades of pain. From the age of 7, Elijah was picking cotton under the scorching sun, his tiny fingers bleeding, his back bent but spirit unbroken. Every night, he would stare at the stars and wonder, what lies beyond these fields? Does freedom truly exist? He couldn't read or write, but he memorized stories told in whispers, of the North, of abolitionists, and of a land where a man was not owned like property. At 16, Elijah met an old woman named Miss Clara, a former house slave who had secretly learned to read. She took a liking to Elijah and began teaching him the alphabet, not with books, but with sticks on dirt. Under the cover of night, they met by candlelight, each letter a rebellion, each word a weapon. Elijah's favorite word was hope, but secrets don't stay hidden forever. One night, the overseer caught them. Clara was beaten and sent away. Elijah watched helplessly. The price of knowledge was blood. Yet something had changed. Elijah was no longer just a slave. He was a man with a mission. In 1842, Elijah ran, with nothing but a cloth bag, a broken compass, and Clara's last words, "Don't die a slave." He moved by night, hid by day, wading through swamps, surviving on stolen corn, chased by hounds, haunted by fear. But the North was calling. After 2 weeks, barefoot and half-starved, Elijah reached Ohio, a free state. For the first time in his life, no one called him boy. No one owned him. He was Elijah Williams, a free man. But freedom wasn't enough. He remembered those he left behind. And he knew, freedom means nothing unless you fight for others too. Elijah joined the Underground Railroad, a secret network that helped slaves escape to the North. He became a conductor, guiding families across rivers, through forests, risking everything. Once, he led a mother and her 2 children through a storm. The youngest was sick, crying in the night. Elijah carried her on his back for miles. When they finally reached safety, the mother wept and said, "You gave me my life back." Elijah didn't want fame. He didn't want revenge. He wanted justice. By the time the Civil War began, he had helped over 70 people escape slavery. Elijah never saw his father again. He never knew what happened to Miss Clara. But he kept going. He settled in Pennsylvania, became a teacher, and opened a small school for freed black children. He taught them the alphabet the same way Clara taught him, with love, patience, and fire in his eyes. He died in 1891, unknown to history books, but not to the hearts he touched. Elijah Williams may not have statues in his name, but he lit a fire that still burns in the fight for justice, dignity, and equality. His story reminds us, even in the darkest of times, one brave soul can change the world. Freedom is never given. It is won, one step, one voice, one soul at a time. If you want to hear more powerful and untold stories from Black history, make sure to follow our channel. Because every life has a purpose, every voice deserves to be heard, and Black lives matter.